All right, so this was obviously a blowout win for DC. Just want to go over a couple of the attacks here. Actually, take a look at some of the war events. So there was one city here, city number 7. I think we hit it 5 times before we got it there. At least by the time I claimed it, I saw, I think, 5 attacks on it. Although not actually, yeah, there we are. So Hamony hit it. A couple. I'm not sure if everybody that claimed it actually hit it. No, Mrs. T tried it. That's actually. Let me see that one. How she ran at it. I didn't see that. Good experience for a 9 to run at it. I suspect may have run ground at it, but they got pretty close. They just have a tremendous amount of heat around this town hall, as you can see with the Infernos, the Teslas, and the maxed crossbow. So set in ground mode, so really tough to run ground against this one. Actually, let me see what Hamony ran at it. He ran ground also. Yeah, so let's see here. No, actually came in air. Interesting. Yeah, so we did take shots at this city, but as you can see, the air sweepers really do tend to be more of an issue against loons. And to me, that really was why the air sweepers came in, was to really whack that hound loon attack. And sure enough, it did it there. The attack that did the most damage on this city actually came in from Matt. Let's see if I can find that. So actually, well, let's see here. Chris got 1 star. As I said, everybody was hitting the star thing. So Chris came in with ground, primarily ground, probably had a fair number of witches in there. As you can see, the hound in there doing the defense caused a bit of an issue. But he was able to push in. I guess you have to get the town hall there. Just not enough left to get the 2nd starter. So that was another ground attack on that. I'm trying to find Matt's attack here on this one. Matt, yeah, here's Matt. So I said this city got a lot of love. So Matt actually did the most destruction. So he came in with kind of innovative experimental attack. So he's been working on this jump, getting that in relatively early, and then trying to take out some of the air defenses with the hero. This time he actually threw a golem in there to tank some of those defenses, so his heroes could get in a little more. So this is actually went pretty much as we discussed in game chat, that the heroes were going to mess around with a lot of that junk in the outer rank. They did, but he did knock out the air sweeper. I think got enough in on the AD there at 6 o'clock that you'll see as the attack progresses here. It really didn't take much to knock down that air defense. So at this point, yeah, you'll see right there, I think the hound, yeah, pretty much takes it out, which you never see. And he also got very close, and somehow I think ended up at 76% destruction when the hounds, or when the little pups get done. So he got a big bite of the base. But then the final attack, which was the one that I happened to run on it, was actually pretty straightforward. I just ran a standard drag 4 attack. I actually starting to get a couple upgrades in there, so I did have 3 loons in here, which was actually very helpful, taking out that first air defense. And basically, at the end of the day, this was only a level 2 air sweeper down there at the bottom, so I pretty much just ignored it. The deal with air sweepers is, even though when you click on them, you see 90% coverage, it really only covers about 10 to 15 degrees. The other thing I want to mention on that attack, one of the things I did there was I actually started the drags way back at the far edge, and that was actually to give me time to get my other units out and engaged. I could have started right there. What I really wanted to do was get the drags started out of range of that air defense and give me time to get the loons and hounds out. So a lot of my attacking has to do with the fact that I'm not really very quick at getting units out, so I tend to actually delay things. You'll see I tend to do that with my golems quite often also. I don't put them as close to the red line as possible. I put them on the far edge, so they're kind of walking, and while they're walking, I'm deploying other units. So I just have to work around the fact that I'm slow and figure that into my attacks. Okay, so let's take a look at maybe some of the other attacks. So Bag started on this one. Zane got one there. So we really, the top 3 cities were really getting one. And then here on city 4, this was actually the city I'd built for when I hit 7. I had planned that drag attack for this city, but I didn't claim it in Clash Caller. And sure enough, by the time I got around to it, Bag had gone in and got his 2 stars on there, and typical nice ground attack there. So although you saw a lot of ground attacks that didn't quite work out, that one did. And here's Zane. This is probably a quad quake. Yep. Yeah, when he runs ground, it's typically a quad quake, and this was a very it was a pretty good base for that. So you want to get with the quad quake, you want to be able to get a straight run at both the Infernos, and he did that. And so with that, basically ran right through it without too much of a problem. Just had very little bit of cleanup there at the end. So this guy didn't really get that great coverage around the outside either. So that's one of the things that makes the city really tough to get, is if you have all the archer towers strategically placed on the edges, it's really hard to come in and get that second star. That was a problem we had in a couple of recent DCA wars. Now we're finishing with a lot of 48s and 49%. But here he's able to get it. And then dude came through. I think this was his Go Lava Looney, and I think he runs a golem there. And then that was a tech I already showed you. And then here, so this is kind of Chris got 2 here. I'm not sure what he ran. This is really is kind of becoming something of a standard defense we're seeing. We've kind of got that central core with the town hall, clan castle, and the queen right in the middle. Makes it really difficult to 3-star. Chris is not quite maxed yet, but pretty darn. He's getting pretty close to it. And we were having this chat about a TH10 in DCW who has max units and can't get 3 stars on 9s, but really getting 3 stars on a 9 even with maxed unit isn't a given that you're going to do that every time. But yeah, Chris is just about there on his units also. So, but that was the toughest 9 on the map. And here we are again, another TH10 getting 2 stars. So I'm still a little puzzled as to why folks were upset about this guy in DCW. And there's me also at 10 getting 2 stars. And there's Justice, another 10 getting 2 stars. So there's a 9 getting 2 stars. And there's a 9 getting 100%. So this is This is Kyle running Jaihiho. No doubt he runs that all the time. And it really is a challenging attack to run. I've run it a number of times with mixed results, and this is one that can go anywhere from 0 star to 3 star. And if you read the city right, you run right through it, as he's doing here. And if you read the city wrong, it just blows up on you. But you saw the double giant bombs there hit the giants, which is exactly what you're looking for. You don't want them to hit your hogs. And then, so here is, so now we're getting towards, so these were the 2 cities. I said early on we really should have clobbered with 3 stars, and sure enough we did get them, 14 and 15. So this is one of our 10s. He is not fully upgraded yet with TH10 units, so these aren't maxed, but straightforward attack. Ran right across the city, and had enough even with Pekka 3 to pull this one off. So this is one. Most of his units are still pretty much at the 9 level. And we did have at least one 9, maybe a couple other 9s. Take a run at this one early. And then 15. Actually, it's nice. Matt actually took us, so Matt's still kind of a upgrading 9 with Callie, but it does have max hogs. But you see the heroes are still very low on this account, but pretty much the standard Jaihiho needs to get in there, get that air defense, get both of those air defenses before the healer gets in the way, and just gets him. And actually the healer runs into the heal spell, comes back up. Nice touch there. And straightforward. I saw both of these cities that could have been cleared out by golems that were open up enough, but sure enough, went through and just blew through on that one. So nice attack there. So let's see, and here's Blade running over a really weird TH8, but yeah, the standard Bammy. Lure it out, kill it quickly, and boom. So I don't think he has his drags upgraded to 4 yet, so he still has to run Bammy as the sure kill of 9 on 8. But I think, yeah, he's probably going to have 1 spell left. So this was the highest 8 there. He just needed 3 rages. Didn't use the heal at all. It was Bammy with a hound in the CC. Pretty straightforward and nice clean path. Okay, so that's probably enough for this video. Anyway, yeah, I wanted to put this together because one of our guys in DCA, Foo Man, just got drag 4, and I'll probably post this in both clans. Okay, cheers.